In this video, I'm going to show you a couple of tricks around using the built-in function Parsename to query things such as the third octet of a add remove programs version string. In the second part of this video, I'll show you how to do the exact same thing, but for IP addresses. Let's get started. If we remember from last week's video, this is the query that we were using to show that add remove program version is actually a string. What you can see, I have added in parsename to show just the third octet. Again, remember that the third octet from a version number is this 184. Where in parsename, the third octet is 2. They go backwards. They start off at 4, go to 3, then 2, then 1, versus we think of an octet going from 1, 2, 3, 4. So a little different than that. So if I run this query, you can see that we got our octet out there. For all this thing, which then allows us to do some interesting tricks. So if I go take that exact same thing and then go greater than quote 984. When I run this thing, the expectation is that we're going to get the 18,424 throughout this whole thing. So let's actually see what actually happens. So I'm going to go less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. And my point here is just to show you that it still is doing it as a comparative string. So we have to add in one more SQL function, which is the cast function. And we're going to cast this as, let's just go with int. It should be okay for an int, and we'll just get rid of the equal. And now when I run this, we can see we've used the third octet. We can see that we've done some basic math on this, and it's converted the string to an integer using the cast function. This is how we can use the parsename and the cast function to get a integer, and therefore we can do our standard comparison. We can do all our math functions greater than, less than, the whole 9 yards. This makes it really easy for us to find out everybody who has that application that is below a particular version in this, or is greater than a particular version. So in the next video, section of this video, what I'll show you is how to do the exact same thing, but for IP addresses. So in this section of the video, we're going to talk about using the parsename and IP addresses. There's really no difference between this and the add remove programs, but I wanted to call it out because so many people do reporting around IP addresses that I thought it was useful to do this. So I've created a query, and it looks exactly like the add remove programs one. I'll go in more details in an upcoming article about how this query is created and why I've selected particular views over another one. Look for it in a couple of weeks on them. But anyways, my whole point being is you can see that I've run this, and we can see our different octets. And I picked the third octet because we got 84 and 2 in there. And like in the previous one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a where statement and go and parse And for this one, I'm going to say less than 6. Now I'm specifically doing it this way to demonstrate a potential issue. So if you remember in the earlier in this video, I showed you that it was still comparing as a string. And again, it is still comparing as a string. And in this example, I don't have another subnet that would generate odd results. So we're just lucky in this particular case that Parsename is working for us. We really should be doing the cast as int and doing the same thing. This will guarantee that if you happen to have subnets that start like 116 or something like that, and I was doing the same query, that they would show, could show up in this thing. I only have the 2 subnets. I have the .2, which I happen to know is a wireless subnet that I have here, and then the 84, which is the hardwired connection in here. But all that's to say that the Parsename works exactly the same as add remove programs version numbers, and basically anything that's a 4-part name. So hopefully you found this useful, and we'll look for you next time. I want to remind you to subscribe to our newsletter on the Ask Our site. This way you can stay up to date on the latest articles as they come out. Additionally, I encourage you to subscribe to the YouTube channel. This, again, you can find out as new videos come out. Learn about the latest and greatest when we talk about Configuration Manager, Intune, reporting, and SQL. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We'll talk to you later.